to go ahead and remove all of these 8mm bolts around here. The only thing here is that this drain pan does not have a drain bolt in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to loosen the rear ones first and come around, and we're going to loosen up to here. What's going to happen is the pan will start to tip down. We're going to have a drain pan underneath, so some of the fluid will start to run out the back. Let's go ahead and start in the rear section here first. I'm going to remove the rearward bolts. As we move forward, we're just going to start to loosen them. As we can see on the rear side of the pan where we actually remove the bolts, you can see the transmission fluid starting to drip out. So have your drip pan ready to go. So having your catch can underneath and having other towels and whatever around the floor there to catch any residual drips. I want to go ahead and use a pry tool. You might be able to use a screwdriver, but we just want to get in here and see if we can separate this pan from the transmission. Once you break that back seal there, and that pan will start running out with the fluid. Now the pan won't drop off because you have the bolts loosened. So we're going to use our pry tool here, pop that open. Let that drain down a little bit. Now as that starts to slow down, we're going to go ahead and loosen and remove a few more of these bolts coming back so the pan tips down further. We'll remove these two over here, and then we'll go to the other side and remove two over there. Now I'm going to slowly remove these as we come back, and you can see the pan lowering. At this point, we're going to have 4 remaining bolts across the forward section of the pan. We're going to remove the 2 outer bolts. At this point here, what you're going to want to do, hold one hand up under the pan, hold it into place. Remove the last bolt. 2 hands, go ahead and grab that pan. Go ahead and lower that down. Put it into your catch can. At this point here, you have your pan off. What you want to do is give everything a quick wipe down. You want to do an inspection. You want to check the surface, the mounting surface of where the pan goes to. If you see any gasket material or any debris on there, you want to go ahead and clean that off. So inside of the old pan, there is a magnet here. I'm going to go ahead and just peel that out. I want to go ahead and clean it. You can use a little bit of solvent. Clean it up the best you can. Once it's clean, go ahead and pop it into the new pan. So we're going to use a little bit of solvent on the new pan. We're going to go around the perimeter here. Get any residual oil or anything that might be on there from the factory and just wipe that all down. So now you want to go ahead and use the appropriate RTV sealant, and we're going to do a perimeter all the way around. Now we're going to use some cleaner, and we're going to go ahead and clean around the perimeter of the pan. Make sure that there isn't any residual gasket material on there. I'm going to go all the way around. Try and clear out any fluid that's sitting there. And I'm going to do one last wipe of where the transmission fluid is running through. And then we're going to grab our pan, line that up, and press this up into place. going to get a few bolts started here. I'll try and get 4 bolts started here by hand, one in each corner. Spin those up to hold the pan in place. And I'll start installing other bolts as we go around. Now we're going to go ahead and torque these pan bolts down to 105 inch-pounds. So now that the pan is installed, there is a little bit of gasket RTV poking around the perimeter. That is totally fine. If you want to, you can clean it up, but there's just a minimal amount around the perimeter, which is perfect. I'm going to wipe down the pan and wipe down any spots that has residual fluid, like in the transmission cross member here. Spray that, wipe it down. Now underneath the hood, we're going to go ahead and pull out our dipstick for the transmission. Have a rag ready to go, and we're going to go ahead and wipe this clean. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and start by adding 4 quarts of transmission fluid. You want to double check the manufacturer specifications for your vehicle. Make sure you get the correct transmission fluid, because not all fluids are the same for every vehicle. I'm going to go ahead and start pouring this in. We did wait roughly about an hour for our gasket to seal up. And we'll go ahead and add 4 quarts here. And then we're going to go ahead and start the vehicle, let it warm up, cycle the transmission from park through all the gears, and then we'll go ahead and check the level. You want to go ahead and start the vehicle. Now what you want to do with the vehicle running, you want to go ahead and cycle through the gears. We're going to do this a couple times. You want to put it back in park. We're going to let it run for about a minute, get the transmission up to operating temperature, and then we're going to go ahead and check the fluid with the vehicle running. So we're going to go ahead and pull the dipstick. We want to go ahead and give it a wipe down. Make sure that it's clean all the way through. And we're going to put it back in. And once we pull it out, we want to make sure that the fluid is between these 2 hash marks. Let's go ahead and put it back in. We're going to pull it out and check what that fluid level is. So right here, the fluid level is just above the lower hash mark. So we're going to go ahead and add about a 1/2 quart or 2/3 of a quart, and that should bring us right up to the middle. So our fluid level is right between the cold and the hot right now. So our fluid level is good. Let's go ahead and button this up.